Nelson Mandela, a man known around the world for his fight against apartheid and his message of peace. But before he became a global hero, he was just a boy in a small village. Let's take a closer look at the life of Nelson Mandela from his birth to his passing. Early life. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small village called Mvezo, in South Africa. He belonged to the Thembu royal family, but his early life was far from royal. His father was a chief, but when Mandela was young, his family lost their title and their fortune. He was given the name Rolihlahla, which in his Xhosa language means troublemaker. And while he did stir up trouble later in life, good trouble, he was a thoughtful, quiet boy growing up. Education and growing awareness. Mandela's life took a big turn when his father passed away. He was just 9 years old, and his mother sent him to live with a powerful family in a larger village. This move opened up a world of education for Mandela. He attended school, where a teacher gave him the name Nelson, which was common practice under British colonial rule. He later went to university, one of the few black South Africans who had that chance. But during his studies, Mandela became more aware of the deep injustice faced by black people in his country. They lived under a system called Apartheid, which was set up to keep races separate and unequal. This would soon become Mandela's lifelong battle, fighting apartheid. In the 1940s, Mandela joined the African National Congress, or ANC, a group fighting for the rights of black South Africans. At first, the ANC used peaceful methods, but the government responded with violence. Over time, Mandela and others realized they had to fight back. Mandela helped form a military wing of the ANC. This meant he was now seen as a dangerous man by the government. In 1962, Mandela was arrested and sentenced to life in prison. He would spend 27 years behind bars. Life in prison. For 27 years, Mandela lived in a small prison cell on Robben Island. Life was harsh, but Mandela remained strong. He became a symbol of the struggle against apartheid, and his name became known around the world. He stayed hopeful, even in the darkest times. Despite being in prison, Mandela's voice couldn't be silenced. He continued to inspire people, both inside and outside of South Africa, to keep fighting for justice, freedom, and presidency. Finally, in 1990, after years of international pressure and protests within the country, Nelson Mandela was released from prison. South Africa was changing, and apartheid was ending. Mandela worked closely with the then president, F.W. de Klerk, to create a new, equal South Africa. In 1994, South Africa held its first election where people of all races could vote. Nelson Mandela was elected the country's first black president, a legacy of peace and forgiveness. Even after all the years of injustice, Mandela didn't seek revenge. Instead, he called for peace, unity, and forgiveness. He believed that South Africa could only heal if people came together. His message touched millions around the world. Mandela served as president for 5 years. Stepping down in 1999, he continued to work for peace, human rights, and to fight against poverty, not just in South Africa, but around the globe. Final years and passing. As he grew older, Mandela's health began to decline, but even in his later years, he remained a powerful symbol of hope and change. On December 5, 2013, Nelson Mandela passed away at the age of 95. The world mourned his loss, but his spirit and legacy live on. Nelson Mandela will always be remembered as a man who stood for justice, who fought for equality, and who believed that love and forgiveness are more powerful than hate. Nelson Mandela's life is a reminder that no matter how difficult the journey, one person can make a difference. His story inspires us to keep fighting for what's right, even when the road is tough. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories of great leaders who changed the world.